radios are generally CW rigs, and CW doesn't hold much for me. So being able to rag chew is much more my style, and now that's something that tweaks my. You tried to build one of these at an in-fed sort of long wire that they have a balun that acts as a step-up kind of arrangement for it. And I've never really figured out how that antenna works. For the life of me, it just seems to escape how they get the thing to work hardly at all without having a huge SWR.
Oh, well, I think there's two types of antennas when you say NFES. There's what's called the NFED half-wave antenna, and from what I understand, you designed that antenna for at least one band should be resonant. And then there's the NFED antenna for long wires. That's the one I'm building. And yes, you're right. It does have a high impedance, which is why you build a 9-to-1 unknown. And it's got an unknown because the transformer is unbalanced to unbalanced. And I've been using something like a T32 toroid or something like that. And but you still may need a antenna tuner. It just the unknown brings it down low enough that an antenna tuner can bring it down farther. It works. You know, you're not going to get the performance of a like off-center fed dipole or vertical or any of those other great antennas out there, but it'll get you on the air when you're doing portable. It's a quick and little easy, and it's inexpensive to make. But it's just something different. If you're interested, I can always send you a link to it. If you ever heard of the Emergency Amateur Radio Club, they're in Honolulu. That's what I'm going to be basing my infed antenna off of. But the wire the antenna itself is really a 30 feet of wire, and then you use coax from the little unknown to your radio. But we'll have to see. Hopefully it works out. KK4 MRN.
And I'm still looking to come up with a vertical that'll be a 5/8 wave on 20 meters. And then let that tuner load it for anything else that it'll work on. Now, I made a tuner for it. The antenna that I had that was this tall vertical that was 42 feet, I believe. And it worked wonderful on 20. Of course, it was made for that. Worked really good on 17 as a 3/4 wave. Worked on 40, 80, and 160. Now, 160 it was way short, and I didn't think it was going to do much. But I worked all over the East Coast. And I got signal reports that set 3 of them up, have them about, somewhere between 2 and 3 feet apart in a triangle. And then make a keeper or stiffener that's up 25 feet or better that joins all three of them together. And then at the top, tie all three of them together fixed. All right? That would make these fiberglass poles sort of in a triangle, and they reinforce each other and run a wire up through them and have all three wires in parallel. And tie them together at the top, then bring them back down and use the whole thing as one antenna. So it's broadbanded by having three of them. But after pricing some of this, my idea, while it's nice on paper, it's rough on the pocketbook.
Understood. You know, it's amazing what hams go through to make a contact on the air, especially when it comes around the world, you know. But it's exciting. And this is actually what I got into ham radio for. It was to build something or do something, you know, because I think it was in 2012 that I started playing with electronics when I bought my Arduino, and that got me interested in ham radio. So, you know, I don't see myself having the ability to build a big, complex, multi-band, multi-mode HF transceiver. You know, that's way beyond me. But, you know, I can see myself building little radios, building little antennas, and having joy from that.
Hey, 4AV. Well, I left the CB world after just a very short stint with it. I did not find kindred spirits in the CB world. And I regularly got my foot in the door just a little bit, but of course I had to make my first antenna for that. And I was looking for people that were interested more in the technical side of it, be it repair, building, whatever. And I have found more of that with the ham world. And but not quite as much of it as I had expected. There's a smattering of people that really get into it, but I'm not the world's great communicator. I just like to get on and rank shoot. And heaven forbid you get me tied up in a contest. I hate those.
Now, granted, Addison, I have to say that I'm not crazy about contests myself, but I have to choose my words carefully, otherwise you may label me a hypocrite. I'm not crazy about contests, mind you, what I just said, but if I hear a DX station out there and they're calling in from, like, Europe, you know, like Spain, or, for example, like Serbia tonight, you know, I'm going to respond and get that contact, you know. And, you know, like I said, even though I'm not crazy about contests, because I don't submit logs or anything like that, but I keep the contest in my notebook that I've made, but I don't submit any logs or try to get points. I'm not going to sit there and count points. That's not going to happen. But I tell you, some contests like the CQ Worldwide Contest, single sideband, I enjoyed that. Getting all those DX contests, especially back in 2013, 2014, when the sunspot number was high. Oh yeah, I enjoyed those. I enjoyed those weekends. They were fun, talking to all kinds of DX stations. And what it really was fun is when you get other hams that you know of, and you talk to each other. You know, like you have an HF radio where you make the contacts, and then you get on another radio like Simplex, and you say, hey, so-and-so, go here. There's Spain on this station. Go check it out. So me and Mark, sometimes text each other and do other things to let each other know about, hey, check this station out. And it can be quite fun. Well, Madison, I agree with you. I would love to have a rag chew with the DX station out there. Problem is, when you do make a contact, somebody else is there too, and they're itching to make a contact as well to the DX station. So you can't really get in a situation with the rag chew unless it's somebody you've known for a while. I mean, I hear on like 40 meters or 80 meters sometimes. Some DX stations talks to a North American station, like a UK station talks to a North American station, and I recognize the same voices over and over each night, and that'd be cool to have right there. But that to me, that's a rare thing, and I got to be happy when I get a DX station when I get it, so I can't complain too much. But I know what you mean, Addison. I prefer rag chew myself because that's one of the reasons why I get on the repeaters at night is to rag chew. Like one night on 80 meters, somebody was calling out CQ on New Jersey, and I came back, and we talked for an hour on 80 meters, and he started talking about electronics and vacuum tubes, and it was a fun conversation. KK4 MRN.
Generally speaking, if I get in there, I'm gonna stay for a while. And generally, I like to get on and put a call in. Just make a CQ call. And if somebody responds and they're from out of the area, I'm not going to push them off. I want to sit and talk for a while. But I've talked around Sweden and different parts of Europe. And generally, it was me initiating the call. So when they respond, I'm in no hurry to get off. If I just want to sit back and wait, that's fine. But I'm the one that made the call, so I set the standard.
Roger. I understand that. Yeah, I like rag chews, and there have been times that 10 meters has opened up, and the AM, there were a station or two on the AM window, which is like 29.0 to 29.2, and I really enjoy making contacts in AM mode on 10 meters in the AM window because they're rag chewers, and they like to use vintage AM radios or radios they've built themselves. So I like those contacts. But I don't see them on there too much. So, and I'm not a big gun station. So usually, when I get a contact on HF, I usually just have to be happy with it because not everybody rag chews there.
It's always in Gympie, Australia. I never even heard of Gympie before that. And we must have talked for 20 minutes. Another occasion, I was calling and on 10 meters, and a guy over in Virginia Beach answered. Well, we were looking for something a little bit further apart than that, and we signed. And no more than I signed than this fellow's voice called. He was very American sounding, but the call was, oh my gosh, what the heck was that? And he was in Central Africa, and he was a Southern Baptist missionary, and he had been to our church at one time, and not that I remembered him as such, but he had been to our church here in Hampton. And we talked for about 45 minutes. Now, the weird thing was, normally, 10 meters is open from sunrise to sunset. All right? This was about 8 o'clock at night. Well, it was dark. Just getting dark. So somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock, probably. All right, so we were well past dark, and that's when the band usually shuts down. Well, I'm talking into Africa, which is near the middle of the night over there, and it was just like you and I talking right now. It was that good, and we talked for about 45 minutes.
Well, I know back in, 2013, 2014, when propagation was good, I remember hearing and talking to stations about Arizona, California, and you could hear them up to like 9 o'clock at night. And there was one night that was just crazy. There was a band opening on 6 meters and 10 meters that night, except 10 meters stayed open until 12 o'clock, midnight. I was floored. But I liked that night very much because it was like the first contact I've ever made on 6 meters other than the 6 meter net. So I was very happy that night. So that's why I remember that. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But what's even more amazing is I think you said Africa, all the way to Africa at night. That's even more amazing for you, Addison. I've never made a contact to Africa or Australia ever. I made one contact in New Zealand one time, but that was during the day on 10 meters when I did make that contact in New Zealand. But propagation, it's an interesting thing.
Talking about propagation, there are rules the way things normally work, and then there are exceptions to every rule. And the time I worked Africa like that was just totally the exception. The band just held perfect. It was like we were talking on the telephone. It was basically full quieting. If I'd have been talking 50 watts to my neighbor down the block on FM, it couldn't have been any better. And I don't remember what the signal strength was by the meter, but simple antenna, J-pole, and which it doesn't know that it's not supposed to work very well. And he receives me well, I received him well, and neither one of us are running more than 100 watts. Probably could have run a whole lot less, but at that point, it worked and I didn't touch it.
When was this, by the way? Was this something like a couple years ago, or is it 20 years ago?
It was the sunspot cycle before this last one. I was working on my, I ICOM 735 at the time, which that puts it prior to 2000, because I bought my Kenwood rig in 2000. So I'm not real sure just when it was, but it's been a while.
Yeah, Addison, I'm waiting for the cycle to turn around again, so it gets back to like 2013, 2014, where the propagation was really good. I'm waiting for those days again. Hopefully I will still be interested in ham radio by then. Because I tell you, Addison, I got my license, ham radio license at the right time, and because that's when it was like at the height of the solar cycle, and it was I think there was even a couple weekends that the sunspot number was over 200, so it's like, those were some good weekends.
All right, have you gotten your extra yet?
Yeah, I got my extra last May. But I don't think I feel like I deserve it, even though I took the test to pass it, because I really haven't done all the stuff that I've been wanting to do and learn in the hobby, because I want to get to the certain point where not only can I build little radios, Addison, I want to know how to be able to design them, and, I don't know if I ever get to that point. KK4 MRN.
All right, we just had a reverse inversion. The repeater went down to nothing, but I caught all that you said. I hope I'm still making it. Anyway, I got to get up really early in the morning, and didn't realize I was going to be on here quite this long, but it has been a pleasure, sir. Randy, if you're listening, it was great to hear you tonight. And, I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make a run to the food bank, and we load up and distribute food and get it all finished up by about 11 o'clock tomorrow. So it gets labor intensive, and I got to hit the ground running. So I need to get ready for bed and see if I can get some shut-eye. Daniel, certainly good to talk to you tonight. Look forward to it again shortly. So with that, sir, I'm going to say 73. This is AA4AV.
All right, Addison, good talking to you. Glad you came on tonight. And hopefully we'll have a few more conversations. I'm wanting to get on the repeaters more at night now. And hopefully we can start up another little tradition here, 9 and 10, 11 o'clock, Okay, maybe not after 11, but 9 and 10 sounds good. But anyway, you have a good night. AA4, AB, this is KK4, MRN, 73.